should keep my voice low. No need to wake the dead.
Locals come to join the
get
party.
around, don't you?
He takes a satisfied sniff and rubs his hands together.
When it comes to graveyards, I'm a kid in a candy shop. All sorts of goodies and gewgaws for the taking. And a bit of rousing conversation. If you know what to dig, that is. Ah, it's a quandary, you see. I'm not exactly welcome in the Stonegarden. The servants that tend the grave, the spirits within are particularly feisty as well. Can't say why. I'm as gentle as can be. Alas,
He presses a forefinger.
this is when having access to a god-woken might come in handy. You see, beyond the gates, there's something that my heart, such as it is set on. Well, that's the gold-plated question it is. Somewhere in this graveyard lies an object of tremendous power. Or so the legends say, anyway. Belonged to a family buried near here, the Surreys. I've been reading up on them. Old Joanna was the last. The poor dear. Had no money, no children, just this incredible heirloom passed down to her through the Problem is, no one knows what this object is. Only that it's an astounding piece of work. Seems Joanna took its secrets to her grave. Rather literally.
His coy grin.
Hours spent on scholarship.
Tarquin sighs, and his lips unfreeze.
It pains me to say, but you've talents in the adventuring department that I do not. And this heirloom could prove valuable for both of us. I've told you everything you need to... everything I know. What it is doesn't matter. What it does, well, if I am right...
He looks toward the grave.
Let's make this easy. I'll assume you've accepted my mission. You'll assume I give it in good faith. Beautiful. The Surrey tomb must be somewhere nearby. I do wish I could wander inside. It would be nice to look up some... Curse those masked freaks. God's damned Ryker.
Stonegarden, be welcome.
Curse those masked freaks. God's damned Ryker. Curse those masked freaks. God's damned Ryker. Lovely day. Perfect weather for it.
Let's see what spirits haunt this garden.
At first glance, the spirit seems much like its host. Hollow, detached. Yet, in its eyes, you see something more ominous. Something... The spirit nods, and its face grows even more.
This spirit's as haunted as the graveyard it roams.
You recognize the dog from the town square in Driftwood. The wounds from his spiked collar are healing well.
Oh, hi! How are you? I'm good. Hey, do you smell that? It smells like the fish place, doesn't it? Like fish, only, worse. Okay, bye!
Let's hope none are earmarked
If
for me.
graves you dig, I'll warn you now. Beware the creak and then the click. Then comes the bang, then comes the bang. Close your eyes.
The spirit's memories play out before you in darkest black. The sound alone relates the tale. A self-styled archaeologist, some would call you a grave robber, you found the grave of Your footsteps crunch light upon the gravel as you approach the tomb. You know that Hogg was avaricious. You ease your way up to the grave and run your hand around the lid, searching for a trap. You find... Click. Uh-oh. Bang. The silence of the night is rent with a sound of screaming. Your scream.
Commiserations, she says. I knew the risk. I have only one regret. I didn't get creak, click, back.
Careful. I've spotted a trap.
Sinner I, and who is not? The sinner lies that they sin not.
Here lies Philan Surrey, whose family's generous patronage helped build these burial grounds, and who refused to be buried in the Surrey crypt. The spirit gives you a tortured glance. The masked creature is mute.
A cremation pyre. From fire to ash, from ember to flame.
This spirit, it beckons to me. A lone witness to the carnage that must have happened here.
The Red Prince addresses the lizard spirit. He turns out to be a dreamer, long dead, who speaks archaically.
Rav Mudon, Anan Eket, Vetu Duran.
Like a lullaby, the melody lulls them both to sleep until, with a start, the Red Prince wakes once more.
My word. Even I, not in my wildest, most demon-lusting dreams, could have guessed a destiny such as this. A tale too preposterous to be believed. The race of lizards, we were dragons once. Great Red dragons. Somehow, eons ago, we withered. We shrank, our wings shriveled. Never more to be the majestic creatures we once were. Until now. I don't know if I can grant us this fate. All I know is that I am to be the father of dragons, and she, the Red Princess, is to be the mother. I've told you about her, haven't I? The secret of my soul. All my life I thought she was but a dream within a dream, but she is real. To think she awaits me even now, no more than a walk away. Come, we must move north at once. Dying indeed. We mustn't forget the House of Shadows continues to hunt us. The dreamer I met only managed to elude. Sacrifices are being made in our names, mine and hers, so that we may sire dragons.
The Red Prince turns to thank the spirit.
It's hard not to feel some pride in reptilian engineering. I watched an elf spend hours trying to force his way into a lizard's chest. Eventually, he threw it into the flames. He did not leave empty-handed, unfortunately. I pity the poor salamander that he dragged back to his ghastly home.
Elven ancestor tree. Even I can't deny the beauty.
The spirit ignores your presence, busy as it is resisting the pull of another, the ancestor tree, trying to take its source. The spirit ignores your presence. The spirit ignores your presence, busy as it is resisting the pull of an... The roots of a great ancestor tree reach from deep underground to the surface above and beyond. But this, you are a scion of the elves. The mother tree demands your blood. You do not have a choice. She has a plan, and you must serve her with your... But then, you hear a voice, a friendly whisper from beyond. The voice knows you. He understands you. He loves you. He offers you your freedom. Grateful, you accept. In an instant, you are an elf once more, walking in the world. But your new friend begins to make demands, small services. At last, he bids you guard your tree. He expects you shall have guests. You shall kill the Godwoken when they come. Then... The thought occurs. The scion replaced one bad deal with another.
No such thing as luck, only self-earned success. Or as in this case, self-earned failure.
That story hits a little too close to home. poor luckless fool.
Elven games. No one cares.
The spirit ignores... The statue gestures towards them. You are relieved of the part.
What's this? I found something.
Sister, help me, please. Isn't it obvious? Some thoughtless fool buried me in this grave like some common human. I can't be at peace. The eternal fire burns in the lizard quarter of the cemetery. I beg you, isn't helping your kin enough for you?
These must be the remains of that lizard spirit, just as he said.
A lonely traveler did pass. We found her lying in the grass. We saw the smile upon her.
You have done me a great service, friend. Now, the Hall of Echoes beckons.
Here resteth Edmund Vanalik, gallant soldier, nearly a hero. Here lies Ogden Quincy, poet and tavern wit.
Ruler
Here
of a
lieth the
rotting
cloud,
kingdom.
thank the gods.
As beautiful as always, if unwilling to whisk me away from this place. It's not a silent monk, but it seems just as black.
The creature barely knows.
died glorious deaths.
We were picked off by spies. There was no glory and no point to it either.
By Zul's
We are an
scales.
inspiration to our people.
Dwarves leave their dead for the birds to consume. How barbaric!
The spirit is dressed in tattered ceremonial garb. Eagle feathers tangle in his...
We died glorious deaths.
We were picked off by spies. There was no glory and no point to it either.
We are an inspiration
You
to our...
watch yourself. Word is that they'll be walking about with flesh on their bones again if they send you to the Hall of Echo. You're God-woken. Don't ask me why. But some...
Two dwarven spirits. In a flash, you are both of them, brother and sister. Your feminine side is a rebel, rising up against the tyranny. As the brother, you rescue your sister from the pikes of the Royal Guard. Together, you flee across the sea to the melting pot of driftwood and reapers. You are the sister, and you know that something is wrong. You climb the stairs to rescue your brother. Both of you die, but your killers do right by their fellow dwarves and bring you here to lay you to rest. As spirits, you fight for eternity. One convinced that the Queen is a tyrant, the other that your treason... The sister smiles. She feels vindicated. Her brother...
Watching the birds pick your body clean is almost soothing. At least you know you're doing... And it means that elf ain't getting his claws on my corpse. Not mine specifically, but he creeps from grave to sepulchre, taking what he wants.
A grim expression passes across her...
The dead don't rest easy in this garden. He lives in the big house by the gate. I ain't about the less I see of him.
Vulgar? Do the dwarves worship this woman? What's this? I found something!
The plinth of the statue bears a series of deep, circular... The sculpture looks impossibly heavy, yet turns with little... The sculpture looks impossibly heavy, yet turns with little effort. The statue rotates with little resistance. The statue rotates with little resistance. The plinth of the statue... You cringe at the sound of stone grating against stone. The headless statue looms over you. The plinth of the sculpture looks impossibly heavy, yet turns... You cringe at the sound of stone grating against stone. The plinth of the statue rotates with little resistance. The sculpture looks impossibly heavy, yet turns... You cringe at the sound of stone grating against stone. The lizard hums tunelessly. Not a melody exactly, but more of a meandering moan.
10 spans under, humans slept. 10 spans up, the dwarves were kept. Lizards burned in lasting flame.
She looks to your left with one eye, and to your right with...
Keeping watch, tending graves.
She ekes out a few more notes, then smiles.
It helps me remember where the dead. Sometimes they don't stay where I put them.
She flinches as you...
No.
Her humming fades.
Ryker might get mad. He doesn't like it when someone...
She shivers and...
Powerful sorcerer. Lives here, right...
She points at her...
The servants. They got nothing up there. Ryker has it all now. They need to be free. The servants, so lost.
The ensuing silence lasts. Here lies an unknown pious priest. Stopped for a moment's peace. Here lies honest a great deal more. Or whatever his real name is. We are glad to give him rest.
The bath, look at all these bones. I've spotted something. Still sounds stuck. Must be more to it.
I've spotted something. Ah, success.
No, the door!
Oh, it's shut tight.
Maybe this one. Maybe this one. Not the outcome I'd hoped for. What did that do? What did that do? That could have gone better. What did that do? Maybe this one. I think a different approach. What did that do? What did that do? Hear that? It did something.
all this wealth's just going to waste.
Unlike so many other spirits, this one is hardly silent. She clicks.
Are you the new servant, then? My, you look like my old handbag if I'd sat it in the sun too long.
The spirit takes the...
I've tasted better brew.
She waits a moment.
You expecting a tip? Well, here's one. Exfoliate. That old thing, it was passed to me by my father, Johannius. And my father's father, Johannius, don't rightfully know what it's supposed to do. Johannius, the umpteens, brought it back from Blood Moon Island. I thought it might be good for stirring stew, but the cook...
The spirit stands there smiling, utterly oblivious to her own outburst, leaving you to ponder the strange words she shouted. Mamtenem rnect udil.
What just happened? You mean my display of proper pos? Hurry back!
You feel the unusual object's vast energy before your hand even touches its smooth surface. Upon contact, the semi-transparent artifact shivers. You feel you've heard this language before, but where you cannot remember.
Adan, Shvalon Dumorav Narvur Revelis.
The shard responds with another sequence of unusual and ominous. The oblong object is crystal clear and unmarked by marks or chips. It rests snug. The object repeats.
This thing speaks to me, but what is it trying to say?
Sounds like a demon with a swollen tongue. I wonder if what's in...
Wild guess here, but I'll wager this relic will turn out useful for killing. Somehow.
It has a nice rhythm to it, doesn't it? Kind of like a...
You again.
He places his hand on the artifact, and it drones in its strange language. The object continues.
It's true, then. Anathema. Within reach. Tell me, is this all there was? There weren't any other curios in there? Amazing.
He breathes a long, lugubrious...
It's time I leveled with you. This is the hand grip of the fabled anathema. A sword capable of annihilating anyone. Imagine it. Holding in your hand a foot. I can restore anathema to working condition, but this is only half of it. We still need the blade. How fortunate that the hilt has already told us where to find it. Blood Moon Island. Isle of Vaults, yada yada yada, pre-Surrey, and so on and so forth. Wow. And it even revealed an exact location. I'll mark it on your map. An exorcised demon living in a sword of glass. The hilt was brought here by one of the many Surreys. I can't imagine having even half a demonic sword around was very healthy for that feeble-minded family. You rightfully consider me a scoundrel, but I'd rather you think of me as a lovable scamp. Or perhaps you'd rather place your trust in someone else. Maybe Dallas. I'm sure she'd love to have a weapon that can destroy a Godwoken with a simple wink and nod. Well, you may not know, Blood Moon Island awaits, my friend. It's a bit of a jaunt, but this gives me time to prepare my workspace.
Tarquin doesn't wait for... This grave marker is old. Whatever name was once carved upon it is no longer legible. Whatever name was once carved upon it is no longer legible.
Spans under. Stonegarden's walls, peace be thy immortal fortune. Relieve the toil, free of indignity. As you reach to push open the heavy door, the coils and whirls of engraved wood dance into a new pattern.
Why are you here? Tell me, and mind that you tell me true.
Silence greets your answer. In the distance, you hear the screech of an eagle.
Leave.
The face melts back. As you approach the door...
Are you ready? Why are you here?
Silence greets your answer. In the distance, you hear the...
Enter.
The face melts...
Ryker lives well, it seems. Pity the location's so undesirable.
A spirit sits behind the grand piano.
O'er black and white my fingers dart, o'er globes they glide, o'er flats and sharps. Whither go they, Lady of Life? Direct them.
The music swells as the spirit dalliances along. You can barely hide your surprise. He's speaking the old tongue. You wish you'd paid more attention to your
Death prowls above.
The dusty staircase leads to another hatch, which is blocked tight. As you push, it budges no matter how much you strain and grunt.
A visitor. Such a rare and exquisite pleasure.
The elf tilts his head backwards, but his squinted eyes don't stray from yours.
Call me Ryker. Please, do avail yourself of my creature comforts. You've surely come a long way. It's not an ordinary location, I admit, but I prefer to be extraordinary. Don't be so naive. My doors only open on the occasion of truth. I also see...
He presses a slender forefinger against his tight...
I'm not a generous man, but I could give you what you must go to the Black Pits. There's a cavern there. In it, you'll find a stone...
He points to the...
Bring it.
Dizziness. It lasts just a moment, but long enough for you to feel Zorstis's presence. You hear no words, yet understand. The episode passes. Ryker is peering at you intently. He awaits your reply.
It's a miracle of the ancients. Priceless, really, and powerful. I won't bore you with further detail. Suffice it to say, it is safer in my hands than in theirs. Oh, but heading to the Black Pits would mean tangling with more magisters, and they're such a nuisance. I like keeping my hands clean, you see. I would think that obvious, my dear. You're dying to show off. I can help you with that. I can share my bond with the Source with you. Fill your... A promise you'd bet.
Ryker bows.
Then you'll have the power you seek, if not the power that trumps it. Now please, don't let me keep you. Tarquin, there are some types, deceitful types, that don't deserve to be among a place of such.
He turns the back of his hand towards you.
Do be sure to see yourself out.